Monica and I spent a little bit together in town than either of us had planned. A little bit longer in town than either of us had planned. Again, couldn't complain about spending more time with her. Better yet, she seemed a bit more relaxed in the aftermath of her seemingly failed confession. She didn't bring it up, and for her sake, neither did I. I'm just waiting for her to come out while she collects her belongings. I had also handed her the folder with the sheets in, as she said she'd assemble I also handed her the folder with the sheets in, as she said she'd assemble them when she got back. In time, she comes out. Got everything?
Yep. Thanks for today. I really enjoyed myself. Aside from a few hiccups, I think we made a good team.
It's no worry. If you ever want to have another day like this, you can always. I stop myself at the realization of what I'm saying. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that I enjoyed myself too.
Aw, Zero.
She then steps closer to me.
I might take you up on that offer.
Deciding to seize the moment before she can, I run my hands down Monica's arms and gently squeeze her hands in my own. She giggles at the feeling. I was wondering.
Hmm?
I feel Monica's grasp closing tightly, yet gently on my hands. After our event's finished, would you like to spend some time at the festival? Not what I really wanted to ask, but I guess it'll suffice. Without a second thought, Monica gives my hands another squeeze and gets on her tiptoes. Her smile seems brighter when she's this close.
I'd love to.
After saying that, Monica takes a step back, presumably trying to avoid her faces getting too close. Part of me thinks she wouldn't mind that, though. To be completely honest, I wouldn't mind it either. I guess I'll see you tomorrow?
See you tomorrow.
After that, Monica starts to walk back home, while I retreat back into the warmth of mine. She's taller than you. Why is she on her tiptoes? I think in this canon, MC's probably taller than her. They never confirmed MC's height in this, so maybe this mod, he's taller than her. Hang my jacket by the door and then slump on the couch. What a fucking day. I sigh to myself, a sigh that's a mix of exhaustion and slightly suppressed excitement. Out of everyone that may have liked me like that, I never would have expected Monica to be one of them. And in all fairness, I think part of her might know I like her too. Honestly, I've not been the most subtle with concealing that. Who knows? We'll have more time together at the festival tomorrow. Did something happen between us? Guess just have to wait and see. Well, we all know about MC's height is that once in Sayori CG, so I don't know. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. This could definitely just be a different. They could have just changed the MC, because people do like to change the MC every so often. They never confirmed his height in the mod. That's what I was saying. If they use the Sayori CG, then we would say, oh, okay, then yes, and that is his height. But yeah, no, it's like we don't really know his height. They never confirmed it, so maybe they made him taller.
My heart's pounding. Part of me regrets not being able to tell Zero how I truly feel. But at the same time, maybe today wasn't the right time. Maybe I'll tell him after the festival. I really hope it goes well.
It's the day of the festival.
Yay!
I check my phone for the time. Oh, for the time. Yeah,
For the
right.
time.
For the time. That's what we meant. I said it weirdly, but I was like, oh no, right. For the time.
Yeah.
6:21 a.m. There's also a text from Sayori from. That was a text from Sayori. A text from Sayori from 2:15 a.m. This is fucking confusing. It's like I hate the English language. 2:15 a.m. For Christ's sake, Sayo. The text basically consists of her asking me to help her carry the cupcakes. Apparently, her and Natsuki made a few too many. To be completely honest, I'm surprised we still have cupcakes left. Natsuki was brave leaving them with her, give her affinity for midnight snacking. If she did eat any, though, I can't say I'd blame her. As I forced myself out of bed, I decided to scroll through mine and Monica's text from last night. really is adorable how she's seemingly looking forward to spending time with me rather than the festival. After stretching, I begin my morning routine. How is she thinking more about spending time with him than the festival when she also kept talking about how much she cares about the festival going well? This doesn't even make sense. Once I'm in the kitchen, I check my phone for the time. It's only gone 7, so I have enough time to have a quick breakfast before I go to help Sayori. One of these days, I'll have time to actually cook something for breakfast. I'm also eating my cereal, thinking I would be a little nervous about the festival. Sure, when I was just going around the festival in the first 2 school years, it was kind of fun. Back then, I wasn't part of an event. Just gotta keep my nerves in check. Oh no, 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 no. Not long till I find myself outside Sayori's house. I did send her a text letting her know that I was ready. But that was almost 10 minutes ago. Like many times before, I let myself inside. Because we've known each other for so long, we made it a habit of coming and going from each other's homes like we were family. I go upstairs and timidly wait at Sayori's door after knocking. Sayori? Nothing. What is this mod doing? What are you?
Yeah, what?
This doesn't work. You haven't shown her depressed like at all. So I know she's not dead.
And if she is, that's really stupid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you, no, you can't do this. This doesn't make sense. You can't even, like, why are you doing this as if you're like, oh, I'm gonna get you. No, you won't. Because if you do, then that's just stupid.
You're just writing things for shock value.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if she's dead, then I'm like, what the fuck? Well, those cupcakes were bad.
Yeah.
I was like, Mod, what? What are you doing? I give it a minute or 2 before I knock again. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. Still nothing. I contemplate going in and waking her up. Isn't that something a boyfriend would do?
The amount of
Regardless,
mods that just want, the amount of mods that just really want to incorporate like a Sayori scene where it's like, oh, it's a bait. Like it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of them are forced like this.
Just feels right. I grip the handle tightly and sigh. Can't believe I'm doing this. I gently open the door. Sayori, oh my god, she's okay. I'm so shocked.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god!
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
Chat act surprised. Oh, whoa. What if she was dead? If she was, I'd be like, what?
I'd laugh probably.
I probably would laugh too, because that would just be so out of nowhere. And now all of chat's like, oh my god, no way, whoa. Why did they do this? Like, if you still wanted to do a haha, gently open the door joke, you could have just not had to copy all that and just be like, Sayori, wake up, dummy. And then you could just be like, I gently open the door or something. Like, just to be like, oh no, you know, like if you just want to do a funny reference. But it's like the fact they copied over all the dialogue just to really make you think, it's like, no, you're not going to trick anybody with that. Zero, what do you... Shit, sorry, Sayori. So as I open the door, Sayori hastily puts her pajama top back on before I saw anything. Ew, the fuck? Get out! Get out! Okay, get out, you pervert!
We did just kind of sneak in here.
I quickly closed Sayori's door and put my back against the wall. Wonderful way to start my day. I talked to her through the door. Should I wait outside? Yeah, you should. Wait, hold up. If she was changing... Wait, this doesn't even make sense in lore. Wait, hold up. So, like, he knocked twice, and she was changing, and she just didn't say anything?
Also, she said, like, 15 minutes ago that she was ready. How is she still getting dressed?
Wait, no, wait, did she tell her it was ready?
Yeah! Yeah!
Once I'm in the kitchen, I have enough time for one of these days while I'm eating my cereal. Sure,
That's why he went in, because he was like, where is she?
Oh, yeah, I sent her. Oh, no, letting her, I was ready. No, she never said anything.
Oh.
So, yeah, no. But no, the thing that still doesn't make sense is the knocking thing. It's like, what? Why would she not say anything? and then be like, like, did you not hear me knocking on the door? like, bro, I knocked twice.
Open your ears, Sayori.
Like, on your door. Like, what? That doesn't make sense. Maybe Sayori wanted him to come in.
Ew.
Like, no, sir. I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. You could have at least made it be like, oh, she was still asleep or something. Then it would make sense that she wouldn't fucking go to the door. Or that she was, like, in the shower, maybe. Like, I don't know. But then why would there be a shower in her room? Maybe she has, like, a bed. Maybe she has a fucking bathroom door.
He can open the door and be like, "Oh, where is she?" And then realize that she's in the shower.
Yeah, or she could have a shower, like, on the left. You just can't see it.
Damn, Sayori's got a nice ass fucking room.
Yeah, I was like, you could have like a shower. Actually, not on the left. Shit, her room is very small. Never mind. You can't afford it. You can't really afford to say she has a bathroom in there.
Be right back.
Jesus, when are you gonna be like with Monica?
Then my blood rushed to my face with that comment before I silently go outside. Not long after I'm outside, I'm joined by Sayori, who's struggling to carry 4 densely packed containers of cupcakes. She hands me 2 of them. There are many words between us. Sorry for earlier. No, don't apologize! It's literally her fault! It's literally Sayori's fault. He knocked twice. And even said, Sayori? Outside of her door. It's literally her fault. Like, it's not even the MC's fault. She literally knocked both times. And she just didn't say anything. Oh my god, why? Sayori, she didn't get good sleep last night.
Yeah, sure.
Sayori gives me a stern look.
From now on, if you want to come in my room, you knock. He did! Got it.
But I did! Exactly!
You just didn't. Got it.
Got it. I relent. It's not too long till Sayori burst into laughter.
Oh my god, Zero. You're way too easy to fluster.
What? He wasn't flustered. He just... What? Huh? He's just sad. What? I am so confused. This doesn't make sense. That's not flustered. He's just... You made him sad, Sayori. You made him fucking have to submit. He's just sad. This is confusing. I'm confused. Is this a prank? Because if this is a prank, again, Sayori is a terrible person. I brushed that assertion off, but it's true. Come on, let's just go. With a round of laughter from Sayori, we head off for school. I don't know what's happening. What was that? A joke from Sayori? Was all of that planned? Was it? What? I don't know. Okay, I don't know what it means. I don't know what's happening. Like, I'm legit trying to actually wrap my brain around this. So like, does she mean like flustered in terms of like her saying like, from now on, if you want to come in my room, you knock? Or is she saying you're easy to fluster because I showed you my bare chest? Like, I don't...
What? What happened? I was gone.
Like she was like, she gave him a stern look and was like, from now on, you come in my room, you have to knock. And he was like, but I did knock. He was like, you just did it. She was like, got it. And then he was like, got it. It's like, I relent. But then she laughed and then was like, you're too easy to fluster. And then I'm like, what? Huh? Like,
what's going on? What is it?
I don't know, because like she wasn't even flustered. It wasn't flustered. You made him feel bad. That's not flustered.
The third Sayori is an asshole offense.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, why is Sayori terrible? Why is she a terrible person in this mod, dude? Sayori's horrible. Like, all these girls are terrible people. Sayori is telling Monica secrets, interrupting, like, a fucking time of 2 people spending time together who clearly she knows like each other. Fucking Natsuki. Natsuki is just, like, teasing someone who just joined the club who she barely knows. Yuri is trying to steal one of her friends. Fucking trying to steal the guy who clearly likes one of her friends. And she might like him back. He's just like, the only person who isn't an asshole is Monica. But she's too busy crying all the time.
too busy being like World of Dreams, Monica.
She's too busy crying constantly. I haven't played it yet, so I can't say anything about that, but you can. But yeah.
I can. Monica cries every fucking second she can.
I was like, what's happening? Once we're coming up to the school gates, we bump into a familiar face.
Hey, you two. Nice to see you a bit early.
Monica greets us both with a smile.
Hey, Monica. You excited for the festival?
Seems like Sayori's opting to avoid mentioning our little incident. Thank fuck for that.
Honestly, I didn't sleep well last night because I was on my mind. Hopefully this coffee kicks in soon.
Monica proudly holds up a coffee cup before heading back inside. There follows Sweet. But no, is that how you say suit? I thought suit didn't have an E. I thought it was still just S-U-I-T. I know it's a different version of the word suit, but I thought it didn't.
It might be like how they spell it over there.
Maybe. I was gonna say, because it's like pursuit. Doesn't have the E.
The word sweet, like the sweet, like as in like
Yeah.
basement suites, is
Yeah.
probably the same word thing. I'll be
That's
back.
what I was like, whatever. Probably one of those EU spellings. Once we get inside the club room, Sayori takes her 2 containers and heads to the front desk. I respond on a nearby desk whilst Monica makes her way up to me.
Hey, I got the pamphlets assembled last night. Wanna check them out?
Of course. Monica proudly takes one of the assembled pamphlets and hands it to me. As I flick through the pages, I marvel at how professional everything looks. The design is crisp and clear, and everyone's poems are displayed neatly. These look amazing, Monica.
Thanks, Zero.
She smiles dreamily at me before looking away slightly. She seems to be deep in thought about something. Her eyes then lock back onto mine. She lowers her voice in an attempt to not catch Sayori's attention.
You still up for spending time with me after the event?
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah. Me neither. Why are we whispering? Just festival stuff.
I mean, she was kind of telling the truth. I like how I made her like,
Just for festival stuff. Just festival stuff.
I fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Smirk on Sayori's face hints that she's aware of our plan. Though she seems to be welcome to Monica and I spending more time together. Of course, I don't know if that's something she's always been up for, or she still feels bad about what happened at the cafe. Given that it's Sayori, it's more than likely the former.
What?
Of course, I don't know if that's something she's always been up for, or if she still feels bad about what happened at the cafe. It's likely the former. Yeah, you know what? Knowing this Sayori, it's likely the former. I was about to say, like, any other Sayori, she'd probably still feel bad. But since it's this Sayori, who is a terrible person, it's probably the former is all she cares about. She doesn't care about her messing stuff up. This Sayori's a terrible person. Both girls soon go off to start setting out the pamphlets and cupcakes on the desks. There's still some stray cupcakes on the front desk. Maybe I could... Nah, fuck it. Natsuki's not here yet. Smack! Ow! What the Not a chance in the world, fucko. And there goes Natsuki's swear words. Well, not yet, anyways. I rubbed the hand that Natsuki smacked. I didn't even hear her enter the room. Oh well, I guess I deserve that. Morning to you too, Nat. Do I need to smack your face too? Don't think so. Good. Still reserve the right to, though. Looks like she's in a good mood, so I can't really complain. Yuri giggles gently from across the room. I look over to her as she's setting her belongings on the table. Morning, Yuri.
Good morning to you too, Zero. How's your hand doing?
Yuri must have noticed I'm still rubbing my right hand. It still stings, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Just how hard did Natsuki slap me? My attention is then drawn to the items that now decorate Yuri's desk. There's assorted candles, an essential oil diffuser, and, taking up the 2 desks next to her, a large folded banner. Damn, Yuri. You really went all out for this. Yuri smiles dreamily to herself, acknowledging my compliment with a polite nod.
I wouldn't do less for an occasion such as this, especially ones run by my friends. Whilst I'm still a little nervous for the recital itself, I'm confident enough that the rest of you will make the event special.
I wouldn't undermine yourself like that. You'll be fine, Yuri. I promise.
I hope you're right.
I place a hand on Yuri's shoulder to reassure her, causing her to hide her face behind both her lavender hair and a veil of crimson. Sensing the impending awkwardness of the situation, I change the topic. So, could I help you hang the banner up?
Of course, Zero. Let me just get a stool.
Yuri goes off towards the supply closet, or we know it, Natsuki's dungeon. It's wonderful seeing everyone this active for the festival. See, that was actually funny. I have seen this background. It's a nice one. Even though the cupcakes are PNGs, but I mean, I'll take it. It's whatever. I've seen this before though. It's a nice festival background. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Though it looks cute though. I like the banner and everything. Took a bit of teamwork to sort out the banner, but eventually the club room's all set for the festival. Personally, I think we've outdone ourselves. Some people would probably say we've gone overboard for a literature event, but I think it just shows our dedication to the club.
Honestly, everyone, this looks better than I could have imagined. I can't thank each of you enough. I know you want this to be something special. We all do. I don't believe I've been this confident in myself for a while. If anything, doing all this for the club has given me back a little something for your efforts. I know I've been a bit of a pain in the ass about all this, but I really want the club to succeed too, you know?
Plus, we're all in this together. We've got this, 'cause we're all in this together. With our shared enthusiasm at its highest peak, we prepare for the start of our event. Can't wait. Oh, okay, we don't get to see it? Oh, okay. I mean, I'm not really complaining. I would complain about not being able to see the festival, but honestly, I mean, half the time mods feel they needed to show. They don't have to show us if they don't want to. Sure, why not? It is just kind of a funny skip, though. I will be honest. It's definitely a funny skip. The festival was hell. It's like, oh, okay. That was good. The festival was hell. A highly awkward, tense silence fills the club room. To say our event was a disaster would be an understatement. But it wasn't any fault of our own. Some of those students. My head just hurts thinking about it. Of course, Natsuki's cupcakes went down a treat. But that doesn't excuse the dickish behavior and attitudes of some of the students we had the misfortune of visiting us. Poor Yuri ended up leaving earlier than anyone expected. Me being concerned, I went to check on her. She'd hidden herself by the stairwell near the roof and was having a panic attack. I stayed to help her through it. It wouldn't have been right for me to leave her in that state. By the time we'd gotten back, things hadn't gotten much better. After the last group had left, Monica took it upon herself to cancel the event. To say she was devastated would only be sugarcoating it. Okay, now that you put all that explanation, now I'm starting to think you should have showed the festival. Wow, okay. I was about to say...
I was gone. What happened?
The festival happened off screen, and they're explaining what happened. Now, see, I would have been fine with the festival happening off screen if they didn't explain it in a way that was like, this seemed very important.
Yeah, what?
Cause like they were like, all right, Natsuki's cupcake was just like the students were assholes, and I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. But then they were like, Yuri ended up leaving earlier than I expected. Then she had a panic attack, and I had to stay to help her through it. I'm like, this sounds like you should have showed this. This sounds very important.
Just a bit.
I feel like I should apologize for what happened.
There isn't an instant response, aside from a few suppressed sniffles from Yuri. Sayori's looking out the window. Natsuki's trying to comfort Yuri. I'm just sitting at a desk with my head in my hands, trying desperately to forget the events that transpired.
I guess I just...
Monica falls silent, tears starting to slowly form in her eyes.
Monica, you don't have to apologize for anything.
Sayori speaks up with a noticeable quiver in her delivery. I decide to speak up. Sayori's right. None of us could have predicted what was going to happen. Even as I speak, I feel unsure of what I'm saying. Monica looks straight at me.
Excuse me a minute.
Monica turns on her heel and practically storms out the room. Due to the silence in the club room, we can all hear Monica's echoing footsteps and the fading sounds of her starting to cry. There aren't any more words. I'll be right back.
Zero?
I'm sorry, I pause, giving me enough time to clarify my thoughts. Remembering how Monica was when something as small as a printer malfunction happened. God only knows what she's gonna be like now. I gotta make sure Monica's okay. Before Sayori can say anything else, I rush out of the door. Screw what ideas any of them get. Can't just leave on her own when she's like that. I try to call out to her in vain, only being greeted by the sounds of my voice echoing through the empty corridors. I press on, getting progressively faster as I reach the familiar stairwell. If there's one place Monica could have retreated to, it'd be the roof. Once I open the door, I can spot Monica in the corner of my eye. She's hunched over on the bench where we've been sitting together recently, sobbing fairly loudly. Her crying on Sunday was one thing. This is something else. After taking a deep breath, I walk over and sit down next to her. She slightly tilts her head to acknowledge my presence, but she remains partially silent. Feelings it would be the right thing to do, I rest my arm over her shoulder.
Zero?
Monica, I can't say enough how sorry I am about what happened at our event.
But you've got nothing to apologize for. Besides, this runs deeper than just the event for me.
I don't understand.
It's been like this for years. I don't understand why myself, but I've accepted how things are.
I've accepted how things are? So what is she on about? Unless she's trying to tell me something. Monica's eyes pierce mine, her tears more pronounced than before. Despite them being the same beautiful green eyes I've come to know, the look she's giving me is one that seems almost alien to me. They're no longer the radiant eyes of a dedicated, high-achieving school idol. They now resemble the eyes of a broken girl who just wants to be understood. Again, nothing that I would have ever expected from Monica.
Can I trust you, Zero?
Of course. The way she asked that worries me. That question. The day Sayori told me about her depression, she'd ask me the same question. Monica rises to her feet, wiping her eyes with her sleeve as she does so.
Ever since I was younger, my dad would always push me to excel at everything. Normally, that shouldn't be a problem. I'm sure most parents want their child to do the best they can. When my grades started to slightly slump in grade school, he started to act out. Like, you can only be called stupid and a failure so many times until you start to believe it. But you're, like, the
furthest thing from stupid.
I was stupid because I thought that things would get better. That things would change. The only thing that changed was how bad the pressure got from not just my dad, from school as a whole.
Monica stops, slightly choking on her words. She takes a moment to collect herself.
Do you remember the first poem I ever shared with you?
Monica's solemn, yet still vibrant eyes stare into my own. It almost feels like she's trying to look beyond my eyes and into my heart. I nod slowly, and Monica sighs, not moving her gaze one bit.
Well, it was about me. Like, I used to be able to tolerate being placed on a pedestal because of how well off I seemed. But now?
Her voice chokes slightly.
I fucking hate it.
Turns away from me and takes a few steps forward. Even though I can't see her face, I can tell she's looking beyond the horizon in the nearby city, looking beyond the roof's wire fence as if she's seeking something. I hear her sigh.
You know, Zero, halfway through the second year, I was gonna jump off the roof. Just because I couldn't take it anymore. That's how bad it got.
Monica looks right at me with glassy eyes. I'm speechless. Whatever I may have expected Monica to tell me, anything relating to suicidal thoughts never crossed my mind. She inches a little closer towards me.
You're the first person I've ever told that part to.
Why? My voice comes off as a shaky whisper. Monica averts her eyes in response. Why me, of all people?
What about the rest of the club? The rest of the club have their own issues that they've trusted me with. To have me burden them with what's basically nothing but petty shit compared to what any of them are going through. That would be selfish.
No, it wouldn't. They're your friends, Monica. Aside from Sayori, I don't know anything about what any of the others are going through. But I know this. If they couldn't trust you, I doubt they'd tell you what was going on. Monica's eyes don't meet mine. She only drinks into herself more. It's not selfish or burdening them with anything. They would care, Monica. Monica remains silent for a few moments, then returns to the bench and sits, on the verge of crying once more.
Why did you come up here, Zero?
Because I love you! I spoke without thinking. How can I let that slip at a time like this? Monica stammered. The silence affirms my dread that she had, in fact, heard what I just inadvertently confessed. I came up because I was worried about you. After yesterday, I was panicking about what you'd be like if the event went wrong. And I just wanted to make sure you were okay. I choked slightly on my words. There's no way in hell she's gonna fall for that excuse. Maybe I'd be better off just shutting my mouth. To my surprise, Monica squeezes my hand and shuffles closer to me. Monica?
You're like the first guy I've met that actually listens to me. That takes my problems seriously. And
She pauses for a moment.
you let me be me.
Tears well up in Monica's eyes again. This time they're accompanied by a smile. God, how I've missed that smile. I squeeze Monica's hand in return. There's been something I've wanted to tell you. For a while now. Her smile doesn't leave her face. The look in her eyes make it known that she's realized I'm using the words she spoke to me at the cafe. Well, the truth is that
I love you, Zero.
Monica finishes my sentence.
I tried to understand it so many times. Believe me, I wanted to tell you a long time ago, but I couldn't understand my own feelings. It sounds crazy. Before I met you, it felt like a piece of me was missing.
Monica moves her hand from mine up to my cheek.
It wasn't until I met you that I figured out what that piece was.
Say I'm stunned would be an understatement. I only just figured out that Monica liked me that way. I had no idea their affection for me ran this deep. Monica, I... barely able to get my words out. However, I'm soon able to regain myself and pull her into a tight embrace. Oh, that's cute. I love you too, Monica. That's when we thought of Monica put into words. Something about what just poured out of her mouth, but how could I possibly compare it to that? I can't put into words how deeply I care about you. Monica hums gently.
Say, how long have you been into me?
Oh, her sudden question takes me a little off guard, but I can be honest with her. Since second year. Always made English class worth going through. She giggles softly. And you?
To be honest,
She ponders.
around 2 months after we met. Maybe a month and a half.
How does she manage to be this adorable, even after her sobs from earlier? We stay in each other's arms for a few more moments. It was as if the world around us had frozen in place, allowing us both to take in this moment. The slightly blustery winds don't faze us. The distant sounds of the city are eclipsed by the thumping sounds of my heart. There aren't many words between us, but it doesn't matter in the slightest. This blissful silence is what we needed. It feels like an eternity before I speak again. I think we start getting back before the others come looking for us.
I know. If I could spend the rest of the day up here with you, I wouldn't mind that one bit.
Me neither. I feel Monica burrow her head deeper into my shoulder. Neither of us want this moment to end. But of course, the rest of the club's waiting for us. We release each other, smiling brightly. So, I guess that makes us a couple now? Monica nods.
I wouldn't want it any other way.
What do you want to tell the others? She thinks for a bit.
I think the club's had enough shock for one day. Could we maybe keep it between us for the time being?
Given everything that's happened today, I understand a request. I take her hand firmly in mine and squeeze it. We can go whatever pace you want, Monica.
Thank you.
Hand in in hand, and then walk back down to the corridor. Okay. Now I can give my full opinions on that confession scene. It was Here are my problems. 1, there should not have been a confession scene after Monica just admitted that she had suicidal thoughts. That she attempted suicide previously. I feel like those 2 scenes should have been different scenes. Cause like, that feels a little weird that he's like, we're gonna just go to being romantic after Monica just admitted that she tried to kill herself. Like,
Excuse me?
yeah, well, to say I just finished the confession scene, so I'm giving my opinions, and I'm like, it was Like, Monica saying she attempted suicide, and then we're jumping to confessing. That's too much. You should not have them in the same, like, they should not be in the same, like, scene. Like, what? Also, 2, he says I love you already, and then he confesses again. Like, they just seem to like scratch over the fact that he just yells out because I love you, even though it's like, why like he says that, and then they just ignore it to then confess again. Like, I don't know, like, they just ignore that word. Like, just ignore that he did that. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
There's that. I get the explanation on why Monica hasn't told the girls about her problems. It works for how Monica is as a character. She feels like, her telling people about her problems would be burdening them. That works. That makes sense. I'm fine with that. Sure. That does make sense. That worked with her. Yeah, the CG was obviously nice looking. Like I said, definitely a big tonal clash to have her have committed suicide. In terms of her sobbing loudly, like, I don't know. Okay, so from what we're able to gather here is, I guess Monica has an abusive parent, I suppose. Monica, I guess, has an abusive parent, which is kind of weird, though, because it's something where she says, I know what the other girls are going through, and compared to that, mine is petty shit. But it's like, you literally are going through, like, the same shit that Natsuki's going through. How is yours petty shit? Like, that's what I'm saying. That's the part where it doesn't really make sense. I feel like it would make more sense if her dad was still nice to her, and Monica was just trying to be, she was just a perfectionist. And, that was her issues. Then she would be making a decent argument of being like, me just being a perfectionist is nowhere near compared to their issues. But it's like, no, now it doesn't make sense for her to say that because clearly her dad is abusive. He calls her stupid. I'm like, no, her dad is clearly abusive. And is like, so it's like, no, yeah, her problems are on the same level as theirs. So now it doesn't really make sense that she would even say that. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Also, this was something I've kind of been thinking about this entire mod. Monica kind of seems like she has depression more than Sayori does. And Sayori's supposed to be the one with depression. Like, I don't know. This has just been something that's kind of just been in the back of my head a little bit. Because they mentioned that Sayori has depression. And I'm like, sure, it could just be...
Monica seems like she has, like, all of their mental problems.
Besides, like, self-harm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seems like Monica has depression more than Sayori even has it. But they even confirmed that Sayori has it. So it's just something where it's just like, okay. Like, but Sayori has never shown this yet. If anything, she's just been an asshole so far. And I'm like, that's fine if you don't have... I'm not saying you gotta make Sayori super sad in this mod. That's not what I'm saying. My point is, when you're having another character who seems like they're showing the signs more than she is, it gets a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess she does have self-harm. She tried to jump off the school roof. I guess that is true. There you go, then.
Yeah, that's
it's like, it seems like Monica has, like, all 3 of them, which, again, doesn't really make sense with her whole thing, thinking that her problems are petty. And
wait, how did you do that? Was that, like, did you catch her doing it, or, like...
No, she said that last year she was gonna... She said she attempted to jump. She was gonna jump off the roof. She said she thought about jumping off the roof. She had suicidal thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Is what she's saying. And it's just like, I don't know. It's like I guess that's what they're trying to go for here, is that Monica has the worst of all of that. And it's like, that's what's weird though. You can't make her think that her problems are petty, but then be like, she has all of their problems combined. Because I'm like, what? Also, another thing is, again, it's like, I understand. It's like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. It's like, the confession, for the most part, I guess, was fine afterwards. The music switch was not a big fan of that, because I didn't like the music. That was, I didn't think the music there worked. I feel like they could have just stuck with the state music that was playing before. I don't know. The confession scene was fine for the most part. Like, I guess Monica's past kind of shows why she cries so much, but even then, it's kind of like Monica's character is that she's supposed to be decently tough, even if she is, even if her father is an abusive person. No idea for. Wait, hold up. She said her father, but she has a mom. Because she talked about her mom earlier.
Does she not live with her?
She does. She says she told her mom about MC. So then, where does her mom fit into all this?
Her mom just doesn't care?
She likes her mom. Did her mom divorce her father? Is there some lore there, I guess? So, is it that she no longer lives with her mom? Is it that her dad is the only abusive one? Like, what's happening here? I don't know.
Is he the only abusive one, and like she just does not know or care?
Because I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's like, so far the confession scene wasn't bad or terrible by any means. I feel about it. Like, it had some issues. Like I said, I think the biggest one was the tonal clash of having a confession after Monica just admitted that she had suicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that is a gigantic tonal clash. That should have been 2 different scenes.
Yeah.
Like, and even then, like I said, her reason for not telling MC, I guess, kind of makes sense, but it kind of doesn't when you give her problem. So if you say that her problems are this huge, it's like, it kind of doesn't make sense for Monica to even think that they were petty. And I understand that some people were trying to say, like, well, maybe Monica just thinks so less of herself that she thinks that her problems doesn't want to burden people.
I was gonna say that.
But I'm like, but to that degree, I almost killed myself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like even Monica would kind of know the weight of that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, yeah, so like, even Monica, I think, would know the weight of that one. Like, again, if she feels that, if she's sitting there thinking that her almost killing herself is not that big of a thing, then I guess Monica in this mod does have depression.
She's got some mental stuff, yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like there's just, there's something wrong with this, and I'm trying to find the best ways to formulate it. Like, it wasn't a terrible confession scene. It was fine for the most part, but some of the stuff in it was just weird. Especially the way MC just blurts out, because I love you! And then they just ignore that, and then confess again. Like, they just ignore that he straight up confessed. Like, it's a little, like, random. Like, all of this nice happiness after it was like, this is the same place where Monica literally just said, I almost killed myself last year. Like, it's a little weird. There's no way this is a demo. I refuse to believe it. It's not a demo. It's a demo Act 1. That's what it is. Yeah,
Okay.
it's one of those, yeah, it's a demo, but it's only a demo in the sense of they can go and change Act 1. I don't know why developers call them demos when it's like the entirety of their Act 1s. You can just call it Act 1, and then you can just change it when you want to. You don't gotta put demo in the title, but whatever. It is what it is. You can just call it Act 1. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm probably gonna stop here, because I did want to look for a stopping point, but yeah, that was a confession. So far, this mod is really just, it's been iffy on me. I don't know. There's been a lot of things. The girls aren't really feeling in character. They feel, like I said, they all feel like assholes who aren't Monica. Like, they don't feel like they don't feel like good friends, on top of always being super comfortable, like I said the one time. Fucking, there's that. Some of the things are just confused. Some, like, interactions are just confusing. Like, they don't even, like, make sense sometimes. The confession scene had a tonal clash in it all. Like, I don't know. This mod is still, I'm still curious to see how the rest of this does wrap up, but it's definitely having some issues. All right, someone gave a paragraph saying, I genuinely hate mods that attempt to tackle the suicidal love interest and the love confession scenes all at once. Like, base DDLC had a finesse to it where they gave timing for people and the characters processed information of the love interest mental health or struggles, especially before love comes back up. That is true. If anything, base DDLC even points out how it's wrong to tell Sayori that you love her right around that time.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually a bad thing to confess to her right then and there. Like, that's actually something you probably shouldn't do. So it's kind of weird when you see a mod do kind of that similarly. And you're like, huh? Like, I feel like they definitely should have waited a little bit. Many times the mods call it simplistic ordeals or miscommunications or problems, at least the because this mod is 95% inconsistent through the whole entire mod. Yeah, there's a lot of weird inconsistency things. So not the mod gonna MC confess to each other. Is the Yuri side plot gonna kick up or what? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what's gonna happen to Yuri? She's gonna like be like, sorry, Yuri, you can't like. She should back off now. I'm hoping, or probably not. She should have backed off the entire time. I don't know. So far,
knowing this mod, she's gonna try and do it now that like they confess to each other because this mod's dumb.
This mod's just, I'm not having the best time. Again, if you really love this mod, I guess I could see it. You know, if you really love it and you just love it because you get to be able to, like, you know, date Monica and everything, then, you know, it does meet that quota at least. So there is that. But for me, it's not doing it for me. It's not been doing it for me so far, but who knows? Maybe that can change as time goes on, but we'll have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. But anyway, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been Zero. Peace.